Hello, wine lovers. Hola, amigos. My name is Blake. I am a sommelier from the United States of America, but now I live in Monte, Ecuador. But right now, I wish I was back in St. Louis. Go Cardinals! Stick around for this video. This is the Cardinals loving Gringo Wine Guy. Hey everyone, today's video is all about house wine, vino de casa. Everybody should have one, and let's face it, you can't drink Montrachet and Harlan Estate every day. I don't know, maybe you can. If you can, then I'm gonna throw away all my money and take some of yours. But let's be real, it's important to have a valuable, affordable daily drinker, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. My wife and I have lived in Monte, Ecuador for 6 months now, and we do a majority of our shopping, which includes shopping for wine, at the big grocery store, which is Mega Maxi at Mall del Pacifico. They have a terrific wine selection, they have great prices. They also have some great options for house wine. And we're to the point where we drink a lot of white wine on its own. I kind of reserve red wine if I'm having a meal, so lately, at least here since I've been in Ecuador, my wife and I have been enjoying a lot of white wine in front of the TV while watching a movie or sitting out on the patio or next to the pool, something like that. Let's go find a great house wine right now. So this is it, Doña Florencia, Sauvignon Blanc Chardonnay. This is a 2020 vintage. This is from Val de Maule, Chile, which is part of the Central Valley in Chile. And Val del Maule happens to be the southernmost named wine region in Chile. So in comparison to a place like California, this would be a sub-appellation, something like Mount Veeder is to Napa Valley, or like Russian River Valley is to Sonoma. This is Maule Valley, Chile, Doña Florencia, Sauvignon Blanc Chardonnay. Maule Valley is the largest wine producing region in Chile, other than the Central Valley, of which it is a part. It has 75,000 acres under vine and has traditionally been associated with quantity rather than quality. The Central Valley itself runs between the Andes and the coastal mountains, from the Chilean capital Santiago in the north to the up-and-coming region of Biobío in the south. Maule Valley was one of the first regions in Chile to be planted to the grapevine. So this is a wine that I've had many times, and as you saw earlier in the video, $5.99. The price actually went up. It used to be a little bit cheaper, closer to $5.50 or $5.75, but still an absolute terrific value if you enjoy drinking white wine. Now, if you watch my videos, you'll understand that Sauvignon Blanc in terms of white wine dominates the wine market, at least in this part of Ecuador. You can find Chardonnay, but as I mentioned in other videos, it tends to be a bit more expensive, and there's not as much of it as there is Sauvignon Blanc. This is why it's such a treat to have this blend here, Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay. This wine certainly favors Sauvignon Blanc in terms of the color of the wine. I think you can tell by looking at it, it does have Chardonnay in there as well. That's what it looks like up close. It is a pale gold color. It has a little bit of room variation on the edge. Again, it's a young wine. This is a 2020 vintage. And just if you're not aware, this is from the Southern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, the vineyard cycle is different than that in the Northern Hemisphere. So this would have been harvested in the early part of 2020. So it's not like harvesting in the Northern Hemisphere, September, October, and this wine is out in the market less than a year later. It's a little bit older than that. And as I mentioned, I've had this before. I'm used to this color. It's pretty pale, but the aromas in this wine, again, favor Sauvignon Blanc. I smell that. I get that citrusy, herby, grassy aroma in this wine. But what I always liked about this on the palate is that it really tends to favor Chardonnay. It's a little bit richer, kind of lush on the palate, and that's hard to find with a wine at this price point. I was not able to come across a website for Doña Florencia. As I look at the back label, and the way I understand it, this product is made and bottled for the Ecuadorian market. So I don't know if you're going to actually find this outside of Ecuador. You can search for Doña Florencia and you'll find Sauvignon Blanc, you'll find Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, all the popular varietals. But this particular Sauvignon Blanc Chardonnay, I was not able to find really any reviews on the wine, and I was not able to find any website linking the winery to this wine. So this is, you know, a good mystery wine, if you will, for our house wine today. And now let's talk about how this wine tastes. It's medium bodied. It has, as I mentioned earlier, richer Chardonnay flavor characteristics. I definitely get pear, baked apple. There's still a hint of kind of lemon in the background, which is obvious from the Sauvignon Blanc. It doesn't have a ton of acidity, but again, it's still balanced fairly well. It's not flabby at all. Definitely has an entry, mid palate, and a finish, albeit rather short. I think if you're a fan of Chardonnay from any part of the New World, and that would be, of course, the Americas, North America, South America, or perhaps Australia, this is something you would enjoy. Again, if you like Sauvignon Blanc, this is going to be a lateral move for you. It's going to be very easy to enjoy this wine in terms of the flavor profile and the palate impression. Really nice. Again, $5.99, hard to beat at this price point. So as I taste, I always try and identify any oak characteristics, how much, if any, there is. It's just the slightest touch maybe towards the finish of this wine. And again, without being able to research this with technical sheets from the winery, I am only guessing that maybe this spent very little time in oak. Maybe it was fermented with oak chips rather than putting it into a barrel, because again, when you're talking about this price point, you have to consider the expense that goes into making the wine, and to put this in a oak barrel rather than using something like chips is much more costly. And again, to achieve this consumer price point, that's an option that could be done, because I do get a slight hint of oak on the back end of this wine. Well, everyone should have a house wine, and if you live in Manta, Ecuador, or certainly in the Manabí province, you're likely going to be able to find this wine. Again, the only place that I have seen it is at Mega Maxi. And you saw the price. You can go ahead and get it today for that price. If you come across this somewhere else in South America, if you certainly come across this in North America, please leave a comment, let me know. And I'm curious, if this was available in the United States or somewhere else in North America, would it be $5.99? Again, this is another wine that gets 2 thumbs up from Gringo Wine Guy, solely based on the price and the quality. And I think if you were to score that from 1 to 10, this wine certainly gets a 10. It lives up to the $5.99 price point and way beyond Another great buy for your house wine. This is Gringo Wine Guy. Adios.